Hi guys, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my book channel. If you're new here, hello. For today's video I have a book haul, which is very exciting because I don't do these very often. I think the last book haul I did was 2 months ago, and I just have trained myself into the habit of only buying things when I need them, which is good and bad because then you end up feeling guilty for spending like any money at all. I got to the point where I pretty much had read all of the books on my bookshelf at least once. Book haul here, it's not like extravagant or anything, but it's pretty much going to get me through the next like 2 months of reading. So look around, because you don't have to be spending lots of money on books. Anyway, I'm gonna dive into the books that I have got. I hope my ring light is doing something because it's hella grey and cloudy outside. You know, we love a bargain. The first book I picked up was The End of Her by Shari Lapena. If you have watched anything on my channel, you know that I read her book called The Couple Next Door in like 2 or 3 days. I loved it, I was hooked. I simply could not put it down. Shari Lapena is one of those authors that I saw everywhere and I just never read a book by her. And then one day I did and I was like, I need to read more books from her. So this is called The End of Her. Does anyone just take the stickers off? Please don't ruin the book. Hopefully it doesn't. Love a smooth sticker removal. Again, I didn't bother to read the blurb, so if you're interested in this book and would like to know what it is about, I will tell you. It says, it starts with a shocking accusation. Stephanie and Patrick are recently married with newborn twins. While Stephanie struggles with the distorting effects of sleep deprivation, there's one thing she knows for certain: she has everything she ever wanted. Then a woman from Patrick's past arrives and makes a horrifying allegation. He always claimed his first... Oh, that was like a genuine reading this blurb and being like, oh, this sounds so good already. He always claimed his first wife's death was an accident, but she says it was murder. He insists he's innocent, that this is nothing but a blackmail attempt, but is Patrick telling the truth, or has Stephanie made a terrible mistake? How will it end? I'm so excited to read this. If that didn't just make you want to like find out, is he a murderer or is she the liar, the woman from his past? Like, I need to know. So this is the first book I picked up. It was Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng? Ng? I don't know how to pronounce the last name and I don't want to mess it up, so I'm just going to say Celeste. This is from the author that wrote Little Fires Everywhere. I have not read that book, but I have seen the TV show of Little Fires Everywhere, and I love Reese Witherspoon. She's such a good actor. And also I just watched Noelle Gallagher's monthly favourites, and she said that she gave this 5 out of 5, and then I kind of skipped along because I didn't want to spoil the book for myself. This book is I don't know what it is about. Again, it'd been on my like radar for a while and I just never picked it up or read it, and then I kept seeing it on people's bookstagrams and I was like, maybe I should read it. I have no idea what this is about. If you don't know what this is about, let's just read the synopsis together. It says, Lydia is dead, but they don't know this yet. So begins the exquisite novel... Wow, if I can talk English would be great. So begins this exquisite novel about a Chinese-American family living in 1970s small town in Ohio. Lydia is the favourite child of Marilyn and James Lee, and her parents are determined that she will fulfil the dreams they were unable to pursue. But when Lydia's body is found in the local lake, the delicate balancing act that has been keeping the Lee family together is destroyed, trembling them all into chaos. A profoundly moving story of secrets and longing. Everything I Never Told You is both a gripping page turner and a sensitive family portrait about love, lies and race. I am very intrigued to read this because, like I said, I had no idea what it was about and it was on my radar for ages, and it just sounds so interesting to hear about, like read about the dynamics of how families learn to grieve and what went on before Lydia died, and how did she die? Why did she die? I want to know. I'm interested. The book I got from Waterstones was Lily King, Writers and Lovers, and I have not a clue what this is about. Oh my, can you hear my cat? Say hi. Yeah. Said I've heard about this everywhere. I have not yet read it, not picked it up, and it kept being one of those books that I would see and pick it up and, like, you know, read the blurb in the shop and then be like, I don't know if I'd find this interesting. But it was right next to Everything I Never Told You, and I was like, don't really know if they are in the same category. But anyway, apparently this is recently about a woman called Casey who is recently out of a devastating love affair, mourning the death of her beloved mum. Casey is lost. The novel she's been writing for 6 years isn't going anywhere. Her debt is soaring, and at 31, with all her friends getting married and having kids, she feels too old for things to be this way. Just say that everyone who's like nearing 30 and everyone younger than them telling them that they're so old because they're 30, like 30, being 30 is not old. People live till they're like 85. Being 30, I'm 28 in July. Anyway, beside the point. Her saying that she feels too old to do anything and start again and all this stuff. I'm like, girl, 31 is not old in the grand scheme of, you know, living. Silas? He's kind, handsome, interested, but only a few weeks later, Oscar, older, fascinating, troubled, walks into her life. Two boys in tow. Suddenly Cassie finds herself at the point of a love triangle torn between two very different relationships that promise two very different futures, and she's still got to write a book. So essentially she's deciding it's a love triangle book, and I love how I've completely contradicted myself, because I did a tag video the other day and a question was like, do you like love triangles? And I was like, sometimes, but most of the time no. And this book essentially is literally about a love triangle, so who knows, maybe this will change my mind on love triangles if it's well done. This one, I mean, I said I would give T.M. Logan 3 books, a 3-book round, if you will. The first book by him, I really did not like. The second book, it was alright, I was more impressed. So I figured with authors now, I'm going to do a thing where I read 3 books by them, and then after the 3rd book, if I'm still not into it, the author's clearly not for me, clearly not my vibe. This is the 3rd book by T.M. Logan that I have got, obviously, and I believe this is his newest one. And I've seen a lot of people give this really good reviews, like, you know, 4, 5, definitely not the 2 stars or 3 stars that I gave The Holiday. Anyway, I don't know what this is about, but like I said, I think I'm kind of like in the middle with how I feel about this author at the moment, so hopefully this will either sway me to continue reading his books or I won't. But I mean, we're gonna have to see. This is quite a thick book. Please protect... Oh, there's a little post-it note on the back and it says, please protect Mia. Don't trust the police, don't trust anyone. The utterly gripping new thriller through a million-copy Sunday Times best-selling author of The Holiday and The Catch, T.M. Logan. Those are the 2 that I have read. One I liked, one I did not. So, says, 2 strangers, a child and a split-second choice that will change everything. Ellen was just trying to help a stranger. That was how it started, giving a few minutes respite to a flustered young mother sitting opposite her on the train. A few minutes holding the baby while the woman made an urgent call. The weight of the child in Ellen's arms making her heart ache for what she can never have. 5 minutes pass. 10. The train pulls into the station and Ellen is stunned to see the woman hurrying down the platform without looking back, leaving her baby behind. Ellen is about to raise the alarm when she discovers a note in the baby's bag. 3 desperate lines scrawled hastily on a piece of paper. Please protect Mia. Don't trust the police. Don't trust anyone. Why would a mother abandon her child to a stranger? Ellen is about to discover that the baby in her arms might hold the key to an unspeakable crime, and doing the right thing might just cost her everything. Whoa. From the get-go, and I think I, like I said, this is going to sway me one way or the other, so you'll just have to see and wait for my reaction, my thoughts and feelings when I eventually read this. I picked up was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm kind of annoyed they didn't have the hardcover because I really wanted the hardcover because it's really pretty, but no one had it, and it was all they had was the paper. But anyway, I jumped on the bandwagon, and I'm gonna jump on the hype and read probably the most popular book by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Because I'm interested and I love an emerald green. As much as my favourite colour is like pale blue, I do love an emerald green, like moment, like in atonement. That rhymed. Anyway, again, I don't know what this book is about. I just see it everywhere that everyone absolutely loves it. So yeah, this is about a reclusive Hollywood icon. Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life, but when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to leaving show business in the 80s, and of course the 7 husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. So, I'm intrigued. Picked up was The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I pre-ordered this, so technically I didn't spend money this month. Well, I did because I bought the other books. But anyway, I mean, it's fun when you pre-order a book because then you're like, I don't remember ordering it, because you ordered it like months ago. By Beth O'Leary, and I'm intrigued. I really enjoyed both of the previous books by her, and I think this one of all of them sounds the most interesting, because it is essentially about a road trip. Obviously, that's a pretty self-explanatory. And it's about Adie and her sister about to embark on a epic road trip to a friend's wedding in rural Scotland. The playlist is planned and the snacks are packed. But not long after setting off, a car slams into the back of theirs. The driver is none other than Adie's ex, Dylan, who she avoided since their traumatic breakup 2 years earlier. Dylan and his best mate are heading to the wedding too. They've totaled their car, so Adie has no choice but to offer them a ride. The car is soon jam-packed full of luggage and secrets. And with 400 miles ahead of them, Dylan and Adie can't avoid confronting the very messy history of their relationship. Will they make it to the wedding on time? And more importantly, is this really the end of the road for Adie and Dylan? So, it sounds interesting, and I think obviously when you bump into someone that you've not seen for years, and if you had a traumatic breakup, like, there's so much to be said. So I'm intrigued to see what happens in the story. A stack of books that I have just bought, and I tend to buy books every like 2 months or so. Hope you guys I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe and leave me a comment. I'd love to have you on my little book channel, and I shall see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!